Silver is a commodity that goes up and down in price, yet whenever we see even a small relative increase of the price of this stuff, we of course get barraged here on YouTube land and the world of social media with incredible videos about how amazing silver is and where it's going and the moon is imminent. Well, it's not always the case, and sometimes there might even be ulterior motives for those kind of videos and discussions. So let's talk about the greater picture and what it really means to be a silver YouTube channel. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and welcome to another Precious Metal Ramble. I hope today will be a little bit of a common sense, down-to-earth approach and opinion on the big kind of increases that we're seeing reported for silver price increases. I don't mean this video to generate drama. I don't mean it to attack any particular channels or organizations. But what I have noticed, it's a trend. It happens every time you see a sort of uptick in silver price, that there's this huge rush to get videos out talking about the increase in the price of silver and where it's going, and the moon is here and imminent, and buy now, buy from here, this dealer. And there are so many hidden agendas, and the fear of missing out on hype is a real thing. And I've talked about it many times before on my channel. We're not here to call out individuals or anything like that, but it does happen, and it certainly happened in this last week. I saw almost immediately a humongous feed of videos recommended to my Backyard Bullion YouTube channel, which is all about silver. You know, why it's going up, where it's going, all of these things. So I want to give a bit of down-to-earth, sensible perspective. Maybe I'll convert one or two of the crazies out there, the real extremes, I should say, to understand that silver is really maybe not going to shoot the moon, certainly in the next couple of weeks, or even in the next couple of years and months, to be quite frank, or ever. So yeah, probably not going to be popular with some of the hardcore silver stackers and those that really do firmly believe this, like those over on a certain Reddit group. But, you know, that's how I go, that's my style, that's what I've been doing and creating for the last 5 or 6 years. Some down-to-earth silver stacking channel content. If you enjoy that kind of thing, or if you enjoy what I'm talking about today, then please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and perhaps subscribe if you're not already subscribed. It really does help our channel. So one of the biggest things that I always notice when you see an uptick in the price of silver, or to be fair, gold, is you start to see a lot of channels talking about it in a way that makes drama about missing out on opportunities, or now is the time to get in, buying on the upward curve, making sure that you've got the silver before the system collapses. You know, that there is a lot of that around, and there are a lot of really responsible channels that do it in a much more responsible way. They don't necessarily hype and fearmonger, and I think there is a place within YouTube and silver content, gold content here on YouTube to talk about this stuff in a factual kind of news presentation based element, and there are plenty of channels that do that really well. One of my favourite is Salivate Metals, but there are plenty of others as well out there that are much more grounded and down to earth. Where I sort of take, I guess, some umbrance is that there are a lot of channels that are not quite so kind of ethical, I guess, in that they have a social following and a responsibility, I think, to their subscriber base, to the people who listen to them day in, day out, and really take on what people say. You know, there is this sort of social media craze that we're all living through right now, and this new way of the world being with social media influencers. God, I hate that phrase, but it is a sad fact of the matter, and I think that there are a lot of vulnerable people that sometimes get a little bit excited and over excited even about certain things that certain influencers say. And it can be quite a detrimental thing, especially when people go out and make poor financial decisions based on some hype hysteria or not factual information. Now, there's a lot to be said about silver and its potential, and I do think silver has got potential, which is why I continue to have silver within my stack, why I haven't cashed it all out, and why I continue to add silver to my stack if I find it for a good price. That's one of the cruxes for us in the UK. But the point is that I think it's great. But I also think it's greater for a person, for a buyer, for an individual to not overexert themselves financially and to make sure that they are secure, so that if there are further complications for their world view, their world life, their monetary situations, they can survive. They don't have to cash out silver and lose money. All you've got to do is look at the last 18 months of silver and see that even with this little uptick that we've had in the last week, we are still at a huge loss. If you bought in that hype when there was the silver squeeze movement really taking effect and you thought now is the time, it's going to go to $50 an ounce, 100 plus, well, you were sadly wrong. Now, there are a multitude of reasons why a lot of these channels continue to do that and to push that, and it's one of my least favourite things about the world of silver. In fact, I would probably separate it into two areas of reasonings, perhaps even three. I'm thinking on the flat of my feet here. So the first, of course, is going to be just a little bit of YouTube ad revenue. Now, a lot of YouTubers have disclosed how much they earn in the big games. You can just find out. You can Google how much does a YouTuber earn. What a lot of people don't necessarily understand is that on a silver and gold related channel, YouTube ad revenue is pretty high relative to others. It's the market, the target audience. You get more than you would think from a video on YouTube, and so making a video that is pandering to that clickbait, to that fearmonger. You look at what titles on YouTube get the most clicks, and there's absolutely no doubt that if you fear and hype, those are the types of videos that get the most clicks. And there are a lot of channels that do that day in, day out, and I don't agree with that. I think there's a social responsibility that has to be taken into effect there. Now, YouTube ad revenue is one thing. It's relatively small fry compared with the second, and the second I think is for this sort of affiliate bonus code theme. This, buy from this partner that I've got in the link in the description. There's countless thousands of dollars to be earned from that, and I think that there's definitely a kind of moral responsibility there for certain creators. There are a lot of good ones that do it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to call everybody out who's got an affiliate bonus code, but there is most certainly there's definitely a crew of people out there, and it's not just individual content creators either. It's the big organizations that have their own YouTube channels, or these professional commentators, I would call them, that do nothing but go around interviewing time after time about how amazing silver is. Their organizations, I think, are essentially just pandering to the fear, pandering to the business that they want to try and get, and try and get as many people to go through and click and buy their products as possible. And that's sort of borderline morally grey, in my opinion. The last thing is that there is this kind of, it's almost like a conspiracy theory element to silver. I am not a fan of the sort of anti-establishment, against the Fed, bring down the Fed. Why would you want to bring down the currency that your entire world is based upon, destroy your economy, etc., because you like something that's shiny and you think it's a good thing? Doesn't make sense to me. I don't like the conspiracy theory thing of us versus them. Is the world perfect? No. Are the bankers perfect? No, of course not. Are there definitely some shady things that happen within the world of banking? Hell yeah. I mean, if you think that there are not some bankers out there who would take opportunities to cut corners to make millions of dollars worth of profit for their organizations, and probably millions of dollars worth of bonuses for them and their people in their organization, then I think you're very naive. But is there a giant cabal at the top end of every single banking institution that's working together globally to try and take down silver and take down gold? No, of course not. It's a global market. It's really not like that. And when people use examples of various different banking organizations having been caught for spoofing as evidence that the entire banking system is rigged and the entire gold and silver industry is completely rigged, I think is a little bit far-fetched, and that kind of conspiracy theory element of gold and silver is, in my opinion, really not healthy, not great, and it's something that it's borderline misinformation. If that's I just don't like it. I really don't. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. So when silver and gold move up or down in prices, you do start to see all these videos. But one observation is, of course, when silver has, like it has in this last 18 months, continued to slide every week, you see fewer videos talking about how it's gone down in price. There are some, and I will do some as well. And, you know, there are other, as I said, more responsible social media channels. So those are my thoughts from the Backyard Bullion channel about the price increases and the influx, of course, of different videos talking about them and all of the hype hysteria and so on. Be safe, be smart, and stack responsibly. Now, one last thing I want to talk about and give credit to is to Cutlery Lover, and a shout out, I guess. I mean, he's got 500,000 subscribers. If you want to go and check him out, then there's a link down in the description below. But in a DM, he was talking about this very thing and saying that he really doesn't care about the price of silver going up or down, left or right. He just gives those kind of videos a complete skip. What's the point in looking at them? And I completely agree with him. And in fact, I need to give him credit for today's video title, which is Silver is 100% going to go up or down tomorrow unless it trends sideways. And that's guaranteed. And that's the whole point here. It's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. If you're going to buy silver, buy it for the right reasons. Don't buy it because your favourite YouTuber's telling you to buy it, or because there is, you know, theoretical evidence that it's going to shoot the moon tomorrow. It's not necessarily going to happen. And if it doesn't, ask yourself, what position will you be in there? So a big thank you to Cutlery Lover and to everyone else within the Backyard Bullion family that's a bit more grounded and has that perspective. Especially to you Cool Kids Club, it's hard to say quickly, who have watched to the end of this video. Thank you one and all for being in that Backyard Bullion Rambling Society, and let me know if you are down in the comment section. Always good to hear from you. Otherwise, that is it from me. We'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.